You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the October 22nd, 2024 meeting of the LaPorte County Regional Sewer and Water District Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Calling the meeting of the LaPorte County Regional Sewer Board to order for October 22nd, 2024. If everybody could please rise and we salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Forgot to say congratulations.
Roll call.
John Carr,
Present.
Marcella, not here. Jerry Jackson,
Microphone.
not here.
Jennifer. Microphone, please. Come on, get your stuff together.
Sorry. Want me to start over?
Yeah, should.
John Carr,
Here.
Marcella, not here. Jerry Jackson, not here. Mitch Bishop,
Here.
Corey Campbell,
Here.
Mark Danielson,
Present.
Amanda Laners. Here. We have a quorum.
Okay, minutes from the last meeting. Everybody have a chance to look at the minutes.
Yes. So move.
Second.
We got a motion and a second to approve the minutes from September 24th, 2024. Any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye. Arg.
Opposed, same sign. I have it. Next item on the agenda is public comment. Public comment. Anyone wishing to speak needs to state their name and address for the record, and we'll have 3 minutes to speak. Are there anybody here for public comment?
We're just going to wait, right?
Yeah, I can review it afterwards if you want to.
Is there anybody on Zoom for public comment? Nobody here? Okay. Public comment is now closed. Report, Steve Carter, Claims and Finance.
Good morning.
Morning, Steve.
Okay, financials for the month ending 9/30. For Hudson Saugony, total funds at 9/30, $2,242,080.86. Only receipts for the month was interest income of $96.41, disbursements of $34,014 for engineering, $900 for legal, and $220 for financial advisor. For Rolling Prairie, ending balance at 9/30, $283,989.42. Receipts for the month, $89.13. Operating disbursements, $46.40. Interest income, $444, and your loan principal to the county of $1,830. Of the $239,209 is in the O&M fund, $6,800 in the debt service reserve, and $37,980 in the bond and interest account. For the toll road, balances at 9/30, $562,778.58. No receipts for the month. $20,661 in operating disbursements, and interest income of $1,915. $202,000 of the balance, $202,397 is in the O&M fund, and the balance of $360,382 is in the Hoosier Fund, which is your improvement fund. We had 2 additions to the claims that were not on what was sent out for your boardable. Those are both from Barry. Sorry to Barry, we didn't get those on the claims initially. First one is for $600, and that is out of Hudson Saugony, and the second one is out of Toll Road, which is $1,100. That brings the revised total to for you to consider $67,159.65.
Any questions for Steve?
No.
Entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So move.
Second.
We got a motion and a second to approve the claims. Any questions? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
I do have one more quick item. We are running low in the Horizon account again for Hudson Saugony, so we need a transfer from the Hoosier Fund.
Okay. How much are you looking?
Probably 250,000 should cover us for at least 3 to 6 months, I would think, or till the project is ready to go, ready to be closed out, loan financing.
Okay. Jennifer, can we cue Marcy up to make that transaction?
Yep.
I don't know how we've done it in the past. I think we've had
I think
the board approve it.
You might want to have somebody make a motion to transfer money from,
Hoosier Fund to Horizon checking for Hudson Saugony.
It's gonna take you a while. Not long.
Who made that motion?
So we have a motion and a second to transfer $250,000 from the Hoosier Fund over to the Horizon Hudson Saugony account. Any questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by the word aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Okay, moving on to Asbury.
Good morning, Chris Vogler here with Asbury. I really don't have that much to report this month. We are getting ready to haul sludge probably sometime in early November. We do this about twice a year. And other than that, I think anything else maybe was in our report. We got some operational stuff done, maintenance stuff done to the compressor at the waste treatment plant. Other than that, that's about all I have. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Chris?
Thank you, but no.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Moving on to JPR.
Nothing more than what we've put in your report for your billing period. We'll be working on collection letters and lien information for the end of the year for filing liens that will be going out for the once a year. I also on your boardable provided you with a billing proposal from Asbury for billing. Kevin's here if you had some questions on that. Proposal information, I know. It looks like I did wonder, like, the pricing proposal, Kevin.
I've got a revised one here.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Would you like
Yeah.
to pass it out?
Yeah.
yeah, Kevin, if you want to pass that out and then just give a quick, you don't have to give a quick summary. If people have questions, great, but
I can give like a quick summary.
Thank you,
Give a
sir.
Summary.
Thank you, sir.
I think generally quick is the
The,
preference of the board.
Just to the point.
to the point.
To the point.
Yeah.
Well, as you're aware, JPR contacted us. It's been almost
I'm
6
sorry.
months now.
Oh. Kevin, yeah, they want you to maybe start and make sure the mic's on at the podium. It is. Thank you.
Thank you for the reminder.
Thank you. JPR contacted us about 6 months ago and said that they were going to step back from offering billing as a service. It's something that Asbury's been providing for many of our clients since 2017. So we've been doing it for a lot of different regional sewer districts. I've worked with Steve for many years in that capacity. And I mean, we've also worked with Jennifer for many years with her work with JPR. So we're excited to offer that to the district. Pretty much, I mean, we do the same thing. We just do it on a little bit different basis. We do it on a flat scale instead of sort of, I don't want to use the word nickel and diming you for everything. It's a flat rate, and it covers everything, everything that we do. Some of the things that we might do differently is because we do it for so many districts, we work within a collection schedule. So we do liens twice a year along with the tax filings. So we start that process probably about 60, 90 days before tax bills go out, so that the liens get on the tax bills. And we're doing liens in the spring and in the fall, so that we can increase collections instead of doing them just once a year. But essentially, we have dedicated staff just for our billing services team that answer the phone. Everything goes to our P.O. boxes in Indianapolis. Those are checked every single day. Sometimes you get mail, sometimes you don't get mail, and we try to do a deposit at least three times a week. One of the things that we do differently is we request that the district get a bank account that we can deposit to locally, and then it's your account, you own it, and we deposit the funds in there, and then from there you can decide where you want to transfer the funds. Does anybody have any specific questions? Another feature that we do, offer is we can give you full access to all of our to our system. So board members or your administrator will have access to be able to get in and look at the account histories. Additionally, we provide access to all of our daily deposit reports, all the documentation, any type of document, especially with you guys have a lot of new customers signing on. All those documents get attached inside of our software. So if somebody wanted to go back in and say, let me see the inspection form from this customer who connected in, or any of that information is accessible. Their ACH forms, we keep copies in our customer information system. We offer credit cards. I mean, that's pretty much standard in today's billing operations. It's no cost to you for the credit cards. The customer pays through the convenience fee to offset the processing fees. So you guys receive the money in full, and then the customer covers the processing on that side. Like I said, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
So the 1100 covers the collection notices, the
No, that's on there too. Those are more a la carte. So when we do the a la carte services like the collections, so when we send a letter, that one-time letter is $2.50.
in addition to
that.
And then the lien prep and all that is when you have to file liens, it's in addition to the monthly fee. Okay.
Yeah, the lien, the lien, and we do that all at the front end so that we know that every lien that's filed is getting released. So we package it up on the front end so that we don't have to kind of keep track of it on the back end.
So the $100 lien prep fee plus the filing fee
comes out to about $150. And so we put that on the account, we charge it to the account, turn right around and put it on the lien.
All right. Okay.
And
I think it's Tom, right?
I'm Kevin.
Kevin, I'm sorry. I'm still trying to get my hands wrapped around this a little bit, but I'm seeing like a software. Do you have to get new software for this? Or do we, or what?
Well, what we do is we migrate your data from their information system into our software. You don't have to buy anything. Ours is it's built into the price, so you don't have any upfront costs. It's all in that one monthly fee per customer.
So what is the $2,500 setup fee, initial one time then? What's
That's
that?
to encourage you to sign a 4-year contract.
Okay, all right. Got it. That's all I have.
So depending on what the board wants to do, I'm sorry.
I see your assumptions on your base rate calculation, 185 accounts. So if we sign a 4-year commitment, and we had, I don't know, maybe Saucony, Hudson Lake. We had how many customers?
1,100?
1,100.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, obviously, we're operating on the assumptions that were given to us, provided. I mean, that's definitely something that we can talk about. What's the timeline for bringing them on?
It'll probably be a couple years, but
Yeah, 2-3 years.
Could be a year. I mean,
Or a year for Saucony. A year for
Because you're
Saucony.
gonna-
And how many does that cover?
Is it 300?
yeah, it's
could be.
300 around it.
I mean, I think that 200-300 over the next year. I think that we could probably figure out a plan, especially as you grow.
Right.
That we can kind of fine tune that.
Okay.
Because that does make sense. I mean, obviously, it's not. I mean, we recognize that as well. It's not. I don't want to say it's not worth it for 185 accounts, but it takes about as much work, on the administrative side to do
Right.
185 or whatever. Now there's individual costs that are involved in that, but it's we can't take advantage of any scale, I guess, at 185.
Right. That's what my next question would be. If we had 1,000, that's $6 per month per customer.
That'd change, right?
That would change.
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, obviously,
Right.
we can definitely work that out, and I think that's something that we can discuss.
So basically what I'm hearing is, as we grow, if you're around, then we can at least negotiate and talk to you.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, we operate your system, so we're not going anywhere.
Okay.
We're looking for a long-term relationship and in conjunction with our operations and maintenance agreement.
Okay.
So what I would recommend is the board take it under advisement. There may be one or two other interested vendors who want to come before us. We've got the luxury of time. And then what probably would happen, as I would think, is any negotiation or serious kind of question answer could be done either at the whole board level, but I would recommend maybe this is something for the executive committee to, whether we do more discussions via Zoom or in person, they sit down and then at some point in the next couple of months bring a proposal back to the board and say, look, we've vetted the 2, 3, however many, and maybe it's one, and then make a recommendation to the board. But I would think, and the other thing I'd say to Mitch is, and to Kevin, would be we could also negotiate on the front end. In other words, I understand if there were only 100 clients, this isn't nearly an attractive a deal for them. I get it. But we could also maybe pre-negotiate, meaning, okay, when we're between 0 and 500 accounts, it's this per billable unit. At 500 to 1,500, it's this per bill. You know what I mean? I would think
absolutely-
you could do that on the front end so that you're not in this uncomfortable situation where
No, that's
they're
absolutely reasonable.
Yeah, they're in midstream and we're trying to negotiate a better deal.
That's
No, it's coming.
Yeah, because we know we're getting.
That's what I was
I mean,
getting at.
barring something, we're getting bigger sooner.
we would 100% do that. That's
Yeah.
that's perfectly reasonable. And like I said, this is operating on the initial assumptions of 185.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
Well,
and I personally wasn't aware of the timeline.
yeah. Well, in that scenario that the attorney mentions, can we get a revised proposal?
Sure.
That'll stay.
we'll get with the
So,
engineering committee and then
yeah.
If you
the
could give us
outside
a timeline, provide us some feedback on the timeline on when you think those
Well,
connections would
it's
take place.
definitely gonna be within the next year, cause it's gonna be going out to bid, so.
Right.
But we could do it exactly like he said. The 0 to 500, you're at this
Just-
I
rate.
think that's a good idea.
I think if we stick in those blocks,
Good job.
there you go.
that's why he's our attorney.
I
Your
totally
money
picked
today.
random numbers, so the numbers may be different. They may be different scales, but thank you.
The way our software licensing, it still is software, even though you don't have to pay an upfront cost. We're required to buy 500 at a time. So even though we have a certain number of licenses just sitting on the shelf waiting to be used, so we do have that reserved capacity that we do, and so we have to kind of buy those in advance. So there is some cost, and but yeah, we can absolutely do that. We can send you a revised proposal that will account for those rates. What's the highest number you think? I mean, will we go to 1,500?
Well, there's 1,200 total in Hudson Saugony, so that, and plus the
That's probably
185.
a couple years out. So
Yeah.
we're going to have to get
I think it would just be over 1,000.
Yeah,
You know.
go up to 1,000, I think.
Yeah. So 0 to 500, 500 to 1,000, anything over 1,000.
Yeah.
That,
I think we need to, just like the attorney said, is let's see what we're going to do in the next month or 2 months. Then we'll have to get together and gather our information.
Not a problem.
Okay.
We'll be here.
Okay.
All right. So we,
So whenever you're ready.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Jennifer will be in Florida.
if we're going to do it in April, yeah.
Okay, moving on. JPR, did you have anything else, Jennifer?
Nope.
Okay, phase 2, Dan.
I don't really have anything on phase 2.
Okay, Hudson Saugony.
Hudson Saugony on the attached general design progress update. Don't have much to update there either. Basically, we have for both contracts A and B of phase 1, plans and specs are at about 95% complete. We're doing our final peer review and final edits before we go out to bid. And to give you guys on the second page of the project update, I listed the updated land acquisition total. Basically, we have 50% of easements in hand for Saugony Lake. I think we need 80 by closing, which that would be in March. And then I attached the tentative project schedule in item number 5 on the design update. That was the schedule I kind of walked through with you guys last month. I figured I'd keep it on this project update so you can have it in front of you at every single meeting, just to keep the timeline at the forefront of your minds. And that kind of leads into the one important piece of business that we need to get taken care of today, which I'd like to request that the district board authorize JPR to advertise the Hudson Saugony Phase 1 project for bids before the next meeting. We are looking at advertising for bids the week of November 11th and the week of November 18th, so that we can give our contractors a full month before bids would be opened at the December 17th meeting.
I'll make a motion to advertise for bids for Saugony.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to give JPR authorization to advertise for bids the week of November 11th and 18th. Any questions on that motion?
The only thing, and I know JPR is good at this, but make sure the form of advertisement that you're going to use, Dan, maybe send it to myself, and I don't know about all the board, but I'm sure Marcy might want to see it, John may want to see it, just to make sure that it includes
RBO?
the RBO, exactly.
Yep.
And I know it does, but I mean, just to make sure that we want take a peek at it before you send it to the
You want to
publication.
see the advertisement?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
And you have that, right?
Yes, the RBO.
Yeah.
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 Yep, it's part of the project manual.
And do you want that also, Jennifer?
Oh, he'll give it to me.
Oh, okay.
Whether I want it or not, he'll give it to me.
Some light reading.
Easy, this is...
And maybe I don't know if the board wants to see it, but you could send me the bid. I mean, I know it's going to have way more than I mean,
Sure.
I can gloss over the technical stuff and just look at the meat of it.
Yeah, I can send it to you now. So
There you go.
I'll send it to you later today.
Okay. Thanks, Dan.
Yep. Last month when I was in here, we discussed the item permit.
Dan, I
yeah,
think they
sorry.
need to, I interrupted them and they never voted.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Now,
I give the motion.
what was the motion for?
Motion is advertised.
Advertise.
Okay. Any other questions on the motion? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
All right. The last month when I was in here, we discussed submittal of the item permit. That permit submittal was contingent upon finalization of the notice of statutory exemption and extension of service letter. We have just in the last couple of days gotten that finalized, and we have mailings ready to roll. So those will be going out via certified mail tomorrow. So that being said, I will be submitting the item permit later this afternoon. So we have everything signed. John met with me out at the wastewater plant site a few weeks ago and walked through the entire project. He signed off on the permit forms, and we are golden. So, in the meantime, we're going to be working on putting the other required construction permits together for a county highway right-of-way use and the permit required to cross the South Shore Railway, and erosion control, things like that we need before construction starts. But really, the deadline to have all of those construction permits in hand is February 26th. 3 weeks prior to closing. So just to touch real quick on that tentative schedule again, we open bids on December 17th. We'll take them under advisement. We'll then present the results to Steve, who will look over it, and to Steve and to Barry. The final rate study would be developed and presented to the board at the January meeting. Following that, we would also make our engineer's recommendation at the January meeting, at which point we would then go into due diligence to SRF and finalizing land acquisition, all in advance of an anticipated closing date in late March of 2025, looking at March 20th. So that's kind of the timeline. I went over it last month, but just kind of reminding you guys. Do you have any other questions? All right.
I did receive a call last week from Randy Rumpola with Baker and Daniels, just asking for an update of timing. So obviously he has a little bit of work to do to prepare for closing. So we're targeting March 20th. So I'll get him queued up if that's okay with the board. He's already under contract, did the original bond ordinance and so forth. And then we'll have to also work on, and this is on my end, a potential date for paying off the bond anticipation note, probably the same day as the closing of the loan on March 20th. But I don't see any reason to keep that note out any further. It does. We got about a year left on it. And I suppose we could let it run to use it for more engineering for the second phase of the project. My only hesitation in that is I don't know that we'll be ready to close on a second loan prior to the end of next year, which means we would have to deal with rolling that note at some point before that loan closing. So it'd be two more transactions or an additional transaction. So I guess we can.
Should we maybe have a Teams meeting with Randy and Steve and Ken and?
Yeah, I think so. That'd probably be just to kind of talk through that. And,
I think that would maybe be a good idea.
yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
I think that would be a good idea.
Okay. But I'm assuming we're okay. I'm okay to get Randy involved. I mean, he's already kind of involved, but just wanted to make you aware of that.
Okay.
That's who we use for.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
He certainly does great work.
Should I go ahead and work on that like relatively soon or?
Yes. And I think I said Baker and Daniels. He's with Barnes and Thornburg now, but I forgot.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
Anything else, Dan?
Nope, that's it. Thanks.
Thanks. Moving on, Executive Committee, Engineering Committee.
Couple things I was just trying to point out. We did get the letter finalized for the property owners, and it was determined through the new Indiana code that we do have to send this out certified mail.
Really?
Yeah, so
There's the notice. Well, there's two notices we're giving, and we could do them in two separate mailings. There's a notice that we're extending service, and then there's a notice of exemptions. And they're really two different parts of the Regional Sewer District statute. One requires regular mailing, one requires certified mailing. So it made more sense to me, since we developed the letter as a combined letter, rather than then now reinvent the wheel and split them out into two mailings. Let's just leave it the way it is. We kind of took a long time to get the letter the way we wanted it, and bite the bullet and spend the money on certified mailing now. I mean, we're paying it now, we're paying it later.
one and done, and then we'll see
Makes sense to
the
me.
results and move forward from there. We also included, if you take a look at the letter, a letter from Amanda from the health department indicating that the health department doesn't have the staff to do the inspections and what they need to do. So this is going to require on my end some
Record keeping?
extra tracking to and some work with Amanda and I to keep track of the property owners that are applying for exemptions and the deadlines and different stuff. So, but we'll do that. We'll keep track of all of that and see what's going on and work between Amanda and I. And
So if they file for an exemption, do they send a notice to you?
so they have 60 days from the date of this letter
Okay.
to give me notice in writing that they are filing for an exemption. And then from that time, they have 120 days to get a certified inspection completed and get that to me. And then I'm going to get that information to Amanda for her to review that property owner's septic information to review to make sure that it has proper information, hasn't failed, and do what she needs to do to verify it is properly functioning.
That they have a system and it's functioning. Yeah.
Correct. And then she will determine that that's okay on that end, and then it will come to this board at the next meeting to approve
The exemption.
the exemption.
Okay. So by the end of the year, we'll find out, we'll have an idea how many people are gonna file for the exemption.
Correct. That the time limit would have. If we
Well-
send out mailing this week, the 60 days will be basically.
But then
November,
they have
December.
120 days. to
Absolutely,
get
but
the- yeah.
but at least we'll
So
know we'll know the maximum
We'll
number.
know, we should know how many will be.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep.
180 days, give or take, we should know.
And the statute doesn't really. I mean, I know like when we had that $1,000 program, we kept extending it, which was good. We wanted to incentivize, but I'm not sure the statute really provides any discretion to the board to, like, if somebody sent in a letter on day 65, that's
Well, then again, that's where we're gonna have to determine if the letter didn't get picked up, because we said
Well,
it's
that's
certain.
correct, yeah.
That is where we're gonna have to
Yep.
figure that part out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because I don't know how that works then. So
yeah. That'll be
we'll
the
deal
only
with that when we get there.
correct.
So, moving along.
Okay. Anything else under engineering or executive committee? Everything? Do we need a motion to send that out?
I think we already made that motion
We did that a while ago.
prior meeting.
We're good.
All right, moving on. New business. Next meeting, November 26th, in person. It's 2 days before Thanksgiving, right?
That is, and I'm guessing everyone's fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 days before the Lions beat the Bears. Pre-agenda meeting and attendees, John.
Yep.
That's the same.
All good.
December
Audit.
17th meeting.
The December 17th meeting's been approved. I got the room, everything. I think maybe we should have an official motion on that so I can notice it.
So that's, the bids are all gonna be in by that date, Dan?
Due. They'll be due at the regular meeting.
So we'll have a meeting on the 18th.
They'll be due at the regular meeting on December 17th.
I also got all the meeting dates for 2025 rooms for the fourth Tuesday of the month as well.
Great.
So I don't know if we want to go ahead and do that as well, and I can notice all of those too.
Yeah, I'd say so. Motion that?
So move.
Go ahead, Amanda.
Just the July, they do budget hearings on that fourth
I don't care.
Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't care. I'm just saying. The room won't be there.
If you like going in the basement, like we did that one time.
That works so well.
Okay, well then you're good.
Schedule it, and we'll have to change July.
We'll just schedule it and I'll deal with that.
Yeah.
So do we have a second for that?
Second.
We got a motion and a second to approve the meeting dates for next year, fourth Tuesday of the month. Any questions? Proceed to vote. All in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it.
Oh wait, who made the motion? I'm sorry, I was writing.
Mitch, I believe.
Yeah,
Mitch.
sure.
Yeah. Corey second.
Second was
Corey.
Corey.
I made the motion, but that's okay.
Mark made it. Sorry.
I'll take that away from you.
Do we need a motion to move the December 17th meeting?
Yes, did you not make that
I
motion
thought that
before
was
the?
all one.
Was it all one? Okay.
Yeah, it was.
You take the minutes.
Yes, it was.
That's what I heard. Okay.
Okay. Old business, interlocal agreement.
Yes, I just put that in there so you guys could see that that was all signed and approved.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to make sure the triggering date for the money is within 30 days after the closing of the loan with SRF. So,
March of 2025.
yeah, and we need to spend it. I mean, that's the quickest we can get it, but we got to spend it by the end of next calendar year pursuant to the agreement.
Okay.
And maybe that's just when, I'm not sure when the ARPA funds deadline is. Maybe it's the end of 2025.
It had
Sure.
to be dedicated, I think,
I think it's be spent
end
by
of
the
this year.
December 2026. Totally spent.
Well, I think at this point it's dedicated. It's
Right.
just a matter of when we ask for reimbursement after the loan closing. And that'll take a little bit of work by the board and Dan and Steve about, I assume they're going to want to see kind of an item. I mean, I don't think we can just say reimbursement for bond anticipation note. I think we're going to need to kind of break it down and show what's professional services, what's,
I'm sure we'll have plenty of
yeah.
paperwork
Well,
by then.
I mean, we'll have plenty of expense, so it won't be a problem.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
Make a motion
So moved.
to adjourn.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to adjourn. Any questions? Proceed to vote. All those in favor signify by word aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting adjourned at 9:37 a.m.